STAAR test time will be here soon.
Oh, you know it. And there's some big changes for 2023. Joining us to talk about what's new is Rachel Mead, test prep expert and tutor with Study.com. Good morning to you, Rachel. Thanks so much for being here.
Good morning, Melissa and Sally. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we're talking about 3rd through 12th graders here. One of the biggest changes is the exam is going to be given entirely online. What do you see as the advantages and the disadvantages to that?
Well, there's definitely some advantages in terms of some equity access, right? You know, students are going to have their calculator on the screen within their programs for them. Everybody's going to be working from similar devices. It's going to really be a game changer that way. I also think there's some other advantages in terms of some younger students, especially not having to worry about if they bubbled in the circle all the way or if there's any stray marks. We've all been in that situation where maybe our eraser just isn't quite as sharp as we want, and so we're worried about, did that smudge? Can they tell what I really wanted? And then just being able to focus on one question at a time as they're working through that and not get overwhelmed with a test booklet in front of them are some of the advantages that I definitely see coming into play.
Now, not everyone computer savvy, so could there be some difficulties, especially with the younger ones, dealing with things like drop and drag and trying to figure out all that, or will it be fairly easy for everybody?
You know, we have to learn from what's gone on in education over the past few years. There's been some adjustments as we've dealt through COVID and come out on the other side. There's definitely just a lot more technology education that happens in the classrooms on a regular basis, even when they're all sitting there in person with that. We have to trust that the teachers and the systems are going to have them really prepared with whatever they're going to be seeing on the screen. We know a lot of students are going through their practices in the classrooms to get more comfortable with that.
The content.
There is also, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Finish your thought.
There's also the opportunity for parents to practice at home with their students as well.
Great. The content is changing too, from what I understand. It's not going to be, you know, all multiple choice, but there is going to be an essay portion, a typing portion. What about for kids who maybe have not had typing classes yet, especially the younger ones?
Yeah, again, there's some advantages that they're not going to have to worry about their handwriting being written, right? Sometimes their hand gets really tired or they're going to take some shortcuts through that. But again, the important thing to remember with this is while there is a raw score, everything is done in scale, which means they're comparing a student to every other student in that grade level in terms of what the standard expectations are, right? So it's not going to be like, hey, you know, we know that almost every single 3rd grader hasn't done typing yet. That's okay. The expectations set for them are still going to be appropriate.
I think the stress must have been really high for kiddos before, because if they didn't do well on the STAAR, then they don't move on to the next grade. That's no longer an issue. That's been removed. Do you feel like that will take pressure off the kids where they can really just get into this test, or do you feel like maybe some of them will blow it off and say, it doesn't really matter now? What's your thought on that?
I think between what's going on in school and good conversations that happen at home, students know to take this seriously, right? They know tests in school aren't something that they should be taking lightly, and that it's always an opportunity to put their best foot forward. Obviously, when it does come to anxiety, that does still carry over for some students as well, too, and that's something important for parents to be on the lookout for in terms of having some positive conversations around that.
Sure. I mean, it's so important that week of the test to just stay calm and surround yourself with positivity. What about the morning of the test? How can you make sure that, you know, you really succeed by starting the day off on the right foot?
Yeah, there's a couple things that we really tell parents to do to help the environment at home, and that's working on having the body be healthy. So what's that nutrition look like? Some good complex carbs the night before, some protein the morning of, making sure that there's plenty of sleep for the student leading up to that week. Good hydration, ½ ounce to 1 ounce of water per pound of the body weight is always a good rule to follow there. And then again, just making sure that they have some good protein snacks that they're taking into school with them that day as well.
All right, such helpful information. Thank you for taking time to walk us through this and getting parents up to date with what's happening with their kiddos in the STAAR. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you.